have Jesus telling them, here, I am what you have been seeking for. I am what you have been craving passionately for. I am the thing you have eagerly longed for to refresh your soul. And when you come to me, you will be filled. And in both passages, in Matthew 5:6 and here in John chapter 6:35, they both end similarly. But yet they emphasize two things completely different. A few weeks ago we talked about the Hebrew word for satisfaction, sabah, which is used to describe a hunger that seeks after God to the point of seeing and knowing God. And those who sabah are abundantly satisfied beyond what you are needing. You have been overfilled. Your cup runneth over with satisfaction. You are filled. Last night we went for some of Heather's family members came in town that only come in town once every couple of years. And so the family got together and had dinner. And so we decided to go, well, we didn't decide, it was chosen for us that we were going to go to a buffet. I almost said banquet. No, we went to a buffet. And you can just eat as much as you want. And so, you know, we ate and ate, and then we went back to Heather's grandparents' house to visit with them, and they were all talking about how full they were, and they just couldn't eat anymore. But yet, shortly thereafter, after I had eaten my fill and we're visiting, I told Heather this last night, and after we got home, I was like, you know, I ate quite a bit, but I'm still hungry. I could eat more. I know, Ken. It's like, how much could you eat even more? But I was still wanting something. At first, I was satisfied. I had eaten more than my fill, but yet a few hours later, I needed more. I felt the need for more. And so when Jesus, here in verse 35 of John chapter 6, ends with a different term. The Greek word used is papoti, which means at any time ever. So what Jesus is saying is that I am the bread of life. Anyone who comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. He is saying that at any time you come to me, you will never, ever have to be hungry or thirsty again. At any time, you will not crave these things. Which goes back to the word sabah, which is the satisfaction. You are satisfied fully, that you will never need anything at any time ever. Because now the thing that which you have been searching for, the thing that you have been seeking, has been found. That you have sought after God to the point that you have seen God. And you know God. That you don't need anything anymore. So Jesus is saying with this statement, I am the bread of life. That it is, in fact, that when he says that, is that in me, I grant supreme satisfaction. The things that you look for, the things that you crave, you will never need them at any time, ever again. Just like when Jesus was speaking with the woman at the well in John chapter 4, and she wants to receive the water of life. Jesus tells her, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give them, they shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into an everlasting life. And then the woman said to him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come here to draw. And so we see this here. Jesus is saying there is nothing you are going to need. Just like with the woman at the well, where he said, he tells her that whoever drinks shall never thirst, but also a well of everlasting water will spring up within them. There is complete and utter satisfaction, while at the same time never ever needing it again. Jesus is saying there is nothing you are going to need. This is no longer about meeting the physical requirements of food and drink to survive. This is about satisfying a hunger of the soul. A hunger which, if not fulfilled and satisfied to the point where you'll never need it again, will lead only to death. And in order to fulfill and be satisfied and no longer suffer from these cravings or this painful yearning for it at any time, can only be found in the true bread, the bread of life. And it can only be found when the people return back to God and seek after Him. As the prophet Isaiah says in Isaiah 55, 1 through 3, "Come to me, all who are thirsty. Come to the waters, you who have no money. Come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without cost. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. Give ear and come to listen. Give ear and come to me. Listen, that you may live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, my faithful love promised to David." Or Psalm 22, 26, "The poor will eat and be satisfied. Those who seek the Lord will praise Him. May your hearts live forever." Jesus is telling them, if you want the bread, if you want to find how to get this bread, then I am here. I am the bread that satisfies. Jesus is the true bread and the true cup offered to the world. And when He says, "I am the bread of life," He's saying, I am what will satisfy you. You can find it in me. I am the fulfillment of what you eagerly craved and passionately desired for. I am what you should be seeking. You want to live, you must partake of my flesh and my blood. Now this is the point where it gets really confusing. And the people get confused because now they're questioning themselves, well, how are we supposed to eat His flesh and drink His blood? No, Jesus is not talking about His physical body. He's not talking about they actually must eat and drink His actual blood. Which is kind of funny considering how Christians in the early days were actually thought to be cannibals. Because we always talked about eating Jesus' body and drinking His blood.